I could talk loud, but don't trip.
There's a sign there, watch
Out with the old, sign in with the new. Okay, so my story kind of begins with, well, it's about buying a car. So my first, a little bit of background. When you're a kid, you dream of what your first car will be. When you turn 16, you hope your parents hand you the brand new keys of whatever your car is. Mine was, I've always loved BMWs. I've always wanted one. And my first car was a 1991 Chevy S10 pickup truck that I got from my grandfather. And so the first two cars I had were kind of hand-me-downs from people in my family. And then finally the last one it broke down on a trip one day. And so I was tasked with buying my own car. So my dad went with me to Hamilton Hyundai. Promise they're not sponsoring this. And we bought a semi-used 2011 Hyundai Sonata. And I had that car for, 8 months or so. And if you buy a used car with under 100,000 miles at Hamilton Hyundai, you have an engine warranty as long as you get all your servicing done there. So my dad was like, yeah, you need to get up there and make sure you do your servicing there. That way you have that warranty if anything goes wrong with your engine. So one morning in June, I wake up and I drive to Hamilton Hyundai and drop my car off, and they say, oh, it'll only be 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Would you like to sit and wait, or can we expect you back at a certain time? And so I decided to sit there and wait. That was my first mistake. Because I got tired of sitting in the waiting room watching Fox News and decided to take a stroll around the lot. There was my second problem. And I stumbled across this nice 2013 BMW sitting in the lot. Now, I decide, well, you know what? It's been 45 minutes and my car is still not done. I went in and asked kind of how long it would be. And they said, oh, it may be another 30, 45 minutes. So I was like, what the heck? We'll take it for a test drive. So I go to the lady at the front counter and I say, hey, I'm interested in taking a car for a test drive. Now, if you've ever said that at a car dealership, it's like fireworks are going off. I mean, they come popping out of doors, they desk drawers, everywhere, flocking like the seagulls from Nemo, mine. So the sales associate that I was going to take this test drive with was a younger lady who looked to be about my age, and I thought she was rather attractive. So we go on this test drive, and I was like, after we take a nice long test drive and have some small chit-chat, the chit-chat wasn't even about the car. She wasn't even trying, we were just talking about life. I go back and I'm like, well, let's see some numbers. If I would trade in my car, how much is that going to knock off the price? The price tag, I think, was around $17,000 on this BMW. Now, mind you, my Hyundai Sonata completely paid off, and no car payments. I owned it in my name, everything. And so we started looking at the numbers, and I got some more money because I had bought in the car there. I hadn't had it a full year, and ultimately, I decided that while they were going to see if, at the time I had no credit. So I had a credit card that was open, but I didn't have long enough, it wasn't open long enough where I could, pull up a credit score and be like, here's my credit score. So they had to send a special request to Discover to get my kind of credit information. And so I decided to send a text to my mom and say, hey, they have this really nice BMW, and I'm gonna get it super cheap with, all my trade-in stuff. What do you think? And I may need you to co-sign. Can you drive up here and co-sign? And I got an absolutely not. If anything, you have to talk to your father. And I knew that was gonna be a hard no. So I didn't even bother. So the sales associate comes back and says, we're gonna be able to get you through. But you may need a co-signer, but if we, here are your payment options, yada, yada, yada. So I signed up for a 72-month payment plan on a car that I can't afford. Trading in my car with no payments and I own, all because I find this sales lady attractive. And so I pull into my driveway coming home from the dealership in this nice brand new 2013 BMW, and my parents lose it. My mom comes out of the house and is yelling at me in the driveway when my dad gets home from work, and then he starts yelling at me in the driveway for making a bad financial decision. And then he simply told me, "You're gonna learn the hard way." Now, the story goes on, that's kind of the out with the old, in with the new. The story goes on, there is another one in this story. And so about a month goes by, I try to find this young lady on social media, and I find an account with her name, and there's not really a picture that I can like say, oh, that's her, or oh, it's not, but I see, a date of like an anniversary and a date of a child's birthday in the bio. So I was like, well, this really backfired on me. But when, at Hamilton Honda, another great thing they do, again, not sponsored, is when you buy a new car, they wash it for you. And so when she was pulling my car into the shop to get washed, she managed to somehow bust a headlight. So they offered to fix that, free of charge. And she gave me her cell phone number to, just text me whenever the new light was in and it was replaced, and I could go up and get it fixed. And so I go up to get it fixed, and we finally finalized everything. And when I got home, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this another try. Maybe they broke up, So I get on social media, find the same account, and find that it was not her account to begin with. So I'm like, oh, this is golden. I'm going for it. So I shoot her a text, and I'm like, hey, would you like to grab some coffee? And she's like, yeah, I'd love to, but you know how car dealership hours are. And so every weekend for about a month, I tried to get coffee with this young lady. And I never got a text back confirming the plans. So, eventually I just decided, what the heck. And right around that time, I met my wonderful new girlfriend, Devin. And so one day, Devin and I are laying around watching TV, and I can't recall if it was I saw the Snapchat account on her phone or on mine or whatever it was, but I said, hey, do you know so-and-so? And turns out they're friends. So, out with the old love interest, in with the new.